You're very oh my gosh.
Yes. Yes. And yes.
No.
It is what it looks like. I know what I'm talking about. I watch film on all these guys, and I know what I'm talking about. People are going to be shocked.
Happy New Year from our friends over at Manscaped. The ball has officially dropped, but that doesn't mean you have to drop the ball on your balls for 2023. If you're still not using Manscaped, now is the time to join the 7 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. With our exclusive offer, go to manscaped.com and use code DORMDebate for 20% off plus free shipping.
This year, take your package to the next level with their Performance Package 4.0. Inside, you'll find the Signature Lawnmower 4.0, Weed Whacker Ear and Nose Hair Trimmer, Crop Preserver, and Crop Reviver. To complete the set, Manscaped threw in their Shed Travel Bag and Anti-Chafing Boxer Briefs as free gifts to keep all your goodies stored and comfortable.
If you really want to make 2023 the year to remember, make sure to try out Manscaped's wet goods as well. This includes their ultra premium body wash, 2-in-1 shampoo, and body deodorant. These products are the absolute perfect follow-up after your New Year's gym session.
Get 20% off and free shipping when you use the code DORMDebate at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com when you use the code DORMDebate. Time to feel sexy and free this 2023 with Manscaped. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dorm Debate podcast. Now, this is the episode everybody's been waiting for, our most viewed episodes from last year, the year before that. It's our release of our 2023 NFL playoff brackets. Each one of us is going to be releasing our brackets one by one. And I'm the only one who has seen all the brackets because I had to make the graphics. And we have a different winner for each person. Nobody picked the same winner.
No way.
Isn't that crazy? Hey, that makes it exciting. It makes it exciting for the viewer. You're going to have to see everybody's bracket. Especially Jonathan's. Pretty crazy bracket.
Immediate shout out. I'm so interested to see all yours.
I was shocked.
It's probably the most accurate. That's why it's crazy.
All right. I can't
Probably the most accurate.
All have different ones, though. I'm actually really interested.
Let's just remember who did better and worse in the picks throughout the regular season, making picks of who wins or not.
That's
well,
your
we
strong
should
point,
say.
John. But the playoffs is a completely different story.
It's true. That is very true. And Caleb has had the best bracket. He had the best bracket last year. Then the year before that, I think I did. But Caleb, you've been pretty consistent with it. You feel good about this bracket?
Not really, but I do.
That means Caleb's going to get it all right. Every time he says that, he's all right.
I'm biased. I'm open about it, though, so that's my advantage. All right, sorry. You were going to give an update?
Yeah. I wanted to give a quick update because our last video was about Damar Hamlin. And we have great news. He was actually released from the hospital. He went and flew to Buffalo, back home, and now he's getting treatment over in Buffalo. But he has made tremendous progress throughout the last week, and he's been sending pictures and posting on Twitter and Instagram, and he's just been so thankful for all the love that's been put into this world. And he basically said, one of his sayings was like, if you put love out into the world will give love back. And that's basically what his motto is. His toy drive, is anyone giving an update on that? It's got to be over 7 million donated. Anybody update? The
last time I checked, it was over 7 million, but it's probably over 8 or 9 by this point.
Unbelievable. And it's an amazing story. I know for the Bills, they did play last week, and it almost seems like a miracle.
Well, what happened was Hamlin posted on Instagram 6 minutes before kickoff, and then on the kickoff, Nyheim Hines returned the touchdown for 6 points. So crazy.
Oh yeah, and Alan talked about something too with the numbers, right? You guys see that?
No, I didn't see that one.
It was like, I think it's something about like, because Hamlin's number is number 3, and a stat related to the touchdown on the kickoff return. One of them was like it had been 3 years and 3 months or something. Alan pointed out, and he was getting emotional because it's like, man, it's like some divine intervention there, you know.
By the way,
yeah.
Speaking of the toy drive, it's at 8.6 million.
Wow!
Oh my goodness!
Dang,
that's incredible. And
that's
he actually
awesome.
He also came out with T-shirts. I'll find the link when I edit this, but he came out with T-shirts, and all the proceeds from that are going to go to the first responders during that game, and also the people who helped him out at the Cincinnati hospital. So that's pretty cool too.
Wow.
He's just a good person, like just a down to earth good person, and he's actually gained. I saw he went from 30,000 followers on Instagram to now he's got like 1.3 million.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Like,
I mean,
insane.
We're glad he's okay, because
Yeah.
you know,
he beat all odds. People say
Could've been much
they said he wouldn't survive. They said if he did survive, he'd have brain damage. He surpassed all that.
Yeah.
And by the way, I mean, legend says that he asked the doctor, like, who won? They're like, you won. You won the game of life. That's
First thing he asked when he woke up. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So good update on that.
But yeah, so as we turn into the playoffs and into our brackets, I guess I'll start this off and I'll go first. So the way this works is I'm gonna have to send you guys my bracket. So give me just 1 second, and I'm gonna put it in the group chat.
Okay.
And you can tell me your thoughts super quick. And for the audio listeners, I'll go through this bracket as well since you guys can't see it. All right, here we go. Jared's bracket coming up. Sent. Let me know when you guys get it.
I just got it. Yes, I predicted it right. That's exactly what I thought you were going to have in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Wait, do you predict?
I knew it.
Where do we see the winner?
So the winner is highlighted.
It's in gold.
Oh, okay. Wow.
That's exactly what I thought you would have.
Interesting.
Okay,
So nobody else picked that? Nobody else picked the Bills? I thought you all were going to pick the Bills as the winner.
You thought I would pick Bills, right?
I did think Don would. Yeah.
So
I
John
didn't.
pick?
I
All right,
didn't pick
walk through the
Bills.
bracket for the listeners, Jared. Let's just not forget.
All right. For all the listeners out there,
Yeah.
we have the Chargers-Jags game. I have the Chargers winning that. Ravens-Bengals, I got Bengals. And then Bills-Dolphins, I have Bills. Moving on to NFC, I have Cowboys-Bucks, I got Cowboys. Giants-Vikings, I got Vikings. 49ers-Seahawks, I have 49ers. Then we go back to the AFC. I have Kansas City versus Chargers, and the Chiefs win. And then I have Bengals, Bills, and the Bills win. And then from that AFC, I have the Buffalo Bills beating the Chiefs, making it to the Super Bowl. Back to the NFC, I have Eagles beating the Cowboys, and I have the 49ers beating the Vikings. And then I have the 49ers in Philly defeating the Eagles, making it to the Super Bowl. And now we have the Buffalo Bills versus the 49ers. And for the championship, for Damar, we got the Buffalo Bills. So,
Wow. Okay.
folks, what do you guys think? The only real upsets I have are Cowboys over the Bucks and Chargers over the Jags. And then I have, obviously, the 49ers and Bills as the 2 seeds making it
Beating
to
the
the
1
Super Bowl.
seeds.
Correct.
If you go by,
Okay, so no, go ahead.
I'm saying if you go by John's theory of how he usually does these brackets, it's all a storyline, right? Who's the main story of the season? And as of last week, it's the Bills. It's Damar Hamlin. Now everybody is a Bills fan, and it would be ideal for the Bills to win a Super Bowl for Damar Hamlin. Would be great, right? And
Wouldn't
so that's
you want that?
the storyline. I mean,
Would you be happy with that?
You're making it
Would you not? No, just
kind
kidding.
of putting them in a box there.
Yeah, I'm kidding. But any problems with this? What's some issues?
I was gonna ask, along with what Jonathan said, is what percentage of this Bills prediction would you give towards Hamlin, like Buffalo playing for him, and what percentage would you give to the fact that you just think they're better than everybody else?
Probably. I'm an emotional guy, so I'd probably say about 60-40, 40% Hamlin, 60% play.
Okay.
That's
I think
fair.
Because, one of the other storylines I want is the Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. They deserve another shot.
Well, it won't be it'll be at a neutral site.
Whatever, neutral site. So they need another shot at them, and they need to win that one. And
Yeah.
for Josh Allen, for McDermott, they had him. They had the Chiefs won. They basically beat them until Mr. Tyreek Hill and Mr. Travis Kelce. And now I think they basically game planned for Tyreek Hill and stopped the majority of the game up until that point. Now they don't have Tyreek Hill. They can focus all on Kelce. I know they're not going to be able to stop him entirely, but I think they have the game plan to beat the Chiefs. I think that's just the most realistic option between skill level plus just drive and emotion from what happened last week. Just a crazy event that brought that team together, and it was already a good group.
Yeah, I think your AFC side is pretty standard. There's only really one upset. I mean, maybe two if you go Bills over Chiefs, but I think a lot of people will probably have what you have there. But my next question would be on the NFC side, the 49ers. I mean, a rookie quarterback has never even made it to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you want Mr. Irrelevant to make it to the Super Bowl. So I need you to explain, because we all know that in the playoffs, there's going to be a time where every single team is down and they need the quarterback to step up. So What gives you the confidence in Purdy to be able to do that?
It's more so he doesn't make the wrong plays, for one, and two, the weapons around him. They have put lethal weapons at running back, wide receiver, tight end. You can go down the line. He throws to a guy like Kittle, who is just popping off lately. I think he's got 7 touchdowns since week 15 or something. So he's finally becoming the tight end that we all knew. We said he was some sort of left tackle, right tackle during the season, and all of a sudden they started to use him as soon as Brock Purdy comes into the mix. Then you got Christian McCaffrey, one of the best running backs in the league. Then you go to
Debo's getting healthy right now.
Yeah, you go to receiving core. Not even to mention Ayuk. Ayuk's their leading receiver. He's dangerous. I mean, game by game, he may not be as consistent, but he could pop off for 100 yards and a touchdown easily. This team is built around how should I say this? The quarterback isn't the most important position in this system. You could throw basically anybody in this system, and they will have just as much success as Brock Purdy. What they're asking Purdy to do is to not turn over the ball. Just try and get it into the hands of your playmakers. Get them to the playmakers in space and let them do all the work. We're not asking you to be Josh Allen and run for 100 yards and pass for 300 yards. Just give them the ball and let them do all the work. And that's what he's been doing.
Fair enough.
The thing is, Sorry, Caleb.
I'll let you go. Okay. No, I'm just poking a bit because I like the take though. But I'm just thinking, if Purdy were to get hurt, who do they have? You know what I mean? Like, or if he plays poorly, who is the fourth string at that point?
I really don't know.
But as an Eagles fan, I can't dog on anyone picking the 49ers. Like, having a backup quarterback make it far isn't beyond the realm of reality.
We didn't even talk about they're probably the best defense in this whole playoff. So not only that,
they definitely are.
You have a great defense to help you out and put you in good positions to score. It's so tough. And then when you go down and you look at that Super Bowl matchup, it was very, very tough for me to pick the Bills over the 49ers. But I think that's where the emotion of what happened last week, the drive of past years losing, especially in Kansas City last year, the way they've lost, the way that Bills Mafia has continually lost Super Bowls, 4 straight in the 80s or 90s or whatever. I mean, it's a culmination of everything peaking up until this point. I think the stars are aligning for this Buffalo Bills team with Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. They have the players, Tre'Davious White. Everything's there. And now for Damar to go down and then recover miraculously and be able to cheer this team on. And hopefully he goes to some of these games and is able to cheer them on in person, I think that's a lot of emotion and motivation for this Bills team. And I think that's going to be too much for the 49ers.
But that's also, you could also take that as a negative. Like maybe it's been too much of an emotional roller coaster that it's just taking a toll on them mentally and they can't really focus on what they need to do. Do you see that being a problem at all?
No, because Damar, like we said earlier, I mean, he's like, who won the game as soon as he woke up? I mean, these guys want a championship. I mean, they've wanted it for so long. They've been together for a long time, this knit group. They want a championship. They're not just coming to the Super Bowl or coming to the playoffs and being like, well, I hope we win. Like, I hope we get through. No, all eyes are on the Super Bowl, 100%.
Jarad, I mean, don't you think all 32 NFL teams have that same mentality? Everybody wants to win the Super Bowl. It's NFL that nobody just shown up just to play. And so, in terms of the 49ers, so what were you saying?
What about like Dolphins or Chargers? You know, they don't even know what playoffs look like. You know,
yeah.
Justin Herbert, Tua,
they still want to win.
Yeah,
but there's a mix. That's why I said it's
60-40.
60-40. It's 40% emotion, 60% skill, experience. 90%. You can't just hop in and win this. But just because you want it, you have the players, you have one of the best quarterbacks, you have one of the best receivers, you have one of the best defenses. It's all together. You know, it's not like they just, I hope we win. Our goal is like, no, like this has been for the last 2 or 3 years. They want a Super Bowl.
I will say something about 49ers, though. Brock Purdy, he's undefeated in his starts, right?
Yep.
5-0?
5-0.
Okay. That's an issue. Because he hasn't faced adversity yet.
Yes,
wait till he faces adversity. He's going to crumble.
Thank you.
He's going to crumble.
I laughed, but you have an interesting point. That right. I don't know if it's going to crumble, but it's interesting. It's like with who was the quarterback backup for Cowboys? Cooper Rush, right?
Cooper Rush, yeah.
Yeah, he's not a bad quarterback by any means, but you know, you get a sample size of teams. I like what Dak said about the Cowboys a little while. Like those close games kind of draw out more from the team than the blowouts, to some extent. Not totally, but it does show things. You know, especially the close losses that inevitably happen.
Yeah, and I don't know what Brock Purdy thinks. This is not really a cakewalk. This is the playoffs. Every play. Like this could be the last game. It's not gonna just sit there and let this little rookie beat them. No, everybody's coming at you, and so he's gonna face some adversity, and we'll see how he bounces from that. But we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, Jarad, I mean, can you quickly touch on all of our 4 teams? Because all 4 of our teams are in the playoffs, and you have all 4 of them winning exactly 1 game. So, like, do you think none of them are good enough to, like... No, you don't. Yeah, you don't have the Giants. So why are you disrespecting us like that?
Yeah.
I'm not really disrespecting. You guys made the playoffs. Like, that's hard to do. I think it's just a matter of Barkley being tired from the season. And that's really your only weapon and advantage that you have with the
Daniel
Vikings.
Jones sucks, right?
But
yeah, Barkley's terrible.
Barkley's fully Barkley's fully healthy though. Like you're just saying, like emotionally.
I'm saying like workload
worn down from the year, but he's not like limited or anything. Okay.
No, not legit. Like
you're just saying, being a running back, 18 games of the year. You know. Okay.
Correct. Yeah, I think the workload that they've had for him. You know, running the ball 25, 30 carries. I think it's been way too much for Barkley to handle, especially after an ACL injury like that. And the Vikings have too many playmakers, like Hawkinson, Justin Jefferson, Thielen. It's too much. Dalvin Cook and their backup Madison still good. The defense is a problem for sure, but I'm not worried about them stopping the Giants' offense. They're not a lethal offense, so they can definitely get past them. And then the Chargers beating the Jags, that's just bias. I just really want the Chargers to win.
Hey,
at least you admit it.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any like stats to like back this stuff up, or are you just kind of just like, how did you decide like all this stuff?
Well, as far as Super Bowl and the AFC and NFC Championship, I looked at first down conversions was a big one, and big plays were a big one. So from the past 3 conference championships, a big correlation was the amount of big plays that you can make and how often you get first downs. And so these teams are one of the best at both of those for Bills, Chiefs, and then 49ers and Eagles. All four are really great in both those categories. So for me, that was who I had. I know that once you get down to the championship, then it's just it's hard to differentiate these teams because their stats are so similar. So that's where I just kind of went off of my bias of watching the season this year. That's kind of where the stats took me up into the championship, and then I kind of took it from there. So yeah. So do we want to move on to Jonathan's bracket?
Sure.
Oh, sure.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Let's see who the Cowboys are going to beat in the Super Bowl. Probably the Chiefs.
Oh.
This is pretty accurate, guys. So
No. Why do I have to be right again?
Hold on.
You're very oh my gosh.
yes, and yes.
No.
It is what it looks like. I know what I'm talking about. I watch film on all these guys, and I know what I'm talking about. People are gonna be shocked every year. Shocking things happen. So, what are we to say that another shocking thing's not gonna happen this year? Multiple shocking things are gonna happen this year. Yes, it's gonna happen.
Oh wow.
So, let's start on the AFC side. Okay, Jaguars versus Chargers. Now, this is gonna be a really good game, a really, really great game. But Justin Herbert is experienced. He's a elite quarterback. I think he's going to be able to allow the Chargers to beat the Jags and come up big. Okay,
Just go through the winners quick.
the winners.
We'll
Okay,
talk about it. Yeah, just
Bengals.
We'll talk about it after.
okay, Bengals beating the Ravens. Bills
Okay.
beating the Dolphins. Okay, then the Bengals beating the Bills. Okay, then the Chiefs beating the Chargers. Then the Chiefs beating the Bengals, and then the Chiefs are going to be in the Super Bowl on the AFC
Okay.
side. Then on the NFC side, the Cowboys will beat the Bucks. Okay, the Giants will lose to the Vikings. Vikings will beat them. The Seahawks will upset the 49ers, the rookie quarterback.
No.
The Cowboys will beat the Vikings in the next round. The Seahawks will upset the Eagles.
No.
Then the Seahawks and the Cowboys will meet in the NFC Championship.
Seahawks will upset Cowboys?
Wait, let him finish.
And the Cowboys will beat the Seahawks to move on to the Super Bowl. And then the Super Bowl will be the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Dallas Cowboys. And the Cowboys will end up victorious.
All right, come on. Do you really think that's going to happen?
It's going to happen.
Please, can you please be honest with me right now? Who do you think's going to win the Super Bowl?
The Cowboys will win the Super Bowl. And actually, let me tell you an interesting stat. Okay?
Please.
I believe in trends, okay? I like
Okay.
the stats, okay? Since September 11th, the Cowboys have been going on this trend, okay? 1 loss, 4 wins. 1 loss, 2 wins. 1 loss, 4 wins. 1 loss, 2 wins. Cowboys just lost on Sunday. 1 loss. What does that mean? 4 wins. That will allow the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl. The Cowboys are going to win.
Oh, dang.
Oh, that actually scared me.
The math does check.
That actually,
I mean, the math checks out. Yeah.
that
Math checks
works
out.
out. It does
4 wins
check
away.
out. That's, I mean, shoot.
Okay.
And all those.
I guess we're done here, right? I mean,
That's it.
it's over.
It. It's
No.
over. Cowboys bounce back. The thing is, Cowboys know how to bounce back. Okay. Every win after their loss has been against playoff contenders: the Bengals, the Eagles, the Vikings. Okay, except the, that's what's happened. Okay, and so I think it should be interesting. But yeah, in terms of the other games,
All right, so really, I mean, please, we're all asking how the Seahawks get to the NFC Championship game.
Okay. Let me tell you. Like I was telling Jarad, Brock Purdy hasn't faced adversity. He hasn't faced adversity yet. Okay, he's a rookie. That's the key thing. The playoffs are a different story. That's when the big boys come out. Shout out to Jamal Williams and his. If you haven't seen Hard Knocks, go watch that. His motivational speech. That's when the big boys come out in the playoffs. And so, Geno Smith has experience. He knows what he's doing. He has a great defense. DJ Dallas is probably going to be playing, right? Run the ball. Let Geno Smith make some passes. Burn the clock. Milk the clock. Let the defense play. Seahawks will beat him. Okay? It's possible for the Seahawks to beat him. Brock Purdy's going to make a couple mistakes, and he's going to think, hey, I can bounce back from this. My defense is going to be out of this. No, this is the playoffs, man. This is the playoffs. It's not the regular season. Big boys are coming. Everybody wants a ring. You're not going to just coast your way and end up 5-0. No, it's not regular season, buddy. He's going to lose. It's going to be upset. People are going to be shocked, and I'm going to laugh because that's going to be the key to the Cowboys winning the Super Bowl. Okay, fine. 49ers are probably a better team than the Cowboys, but they're going to be eliminated in the first round. We don't worry about them. Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl. Okay, and then any other alarming things? Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, well, you don't think you'll have any problem with the Vikings? You beat them 40-3. That'll be another blowout, probably.
It'll be another blowout. They're not good. They're underrated, or overrated. Sorry. Mm-hmm. And then the Seahawks and Eagles. That would be a good matchup. That would be a really good matchup. But the Eagles have allowed the season to sort of give them a big head. They think they're better than they actually are. And also, Hurts played last game, but he's not 100%. He was forced to play last game because they were fighting for that number 1 seed.
They have a week break.
Oh no, 1 week. Whoa,
2 weeks. 2 week break.
No, 2 weeks. That's not enough. He's not fully healthy to.
What does he have?
All the way to Super Bowl. He's not fully healthy.
Shoulder sprain.
That's He can't throw. He can't throw. No. He threw in pain.
Well, Jonathan, you watched film. So did he look healthy?
He didn't look healthy. I watched film. He didn't look healthy. If I was Eagles fan, I'd be scared. I'd be really scared right now. That's why I'm like, I don't know. Honestly, I would have allowed him to sit out and rest another week rather than just rushing him back. And they rushed him back because they really wanted to.
So Eagles. I think that's the Cowboys. So you're saying you're talking because you wanted
Eagles
the
have 2 weeks.
They have 2
Eagles
weeks.
have 2 weeks to prepare for the Seahawks, who you say have an elite defense, and that's the worst defense in the playoffs.
Well, John, they don't know who they're going to play yet. See what I'm saying? They can't prepare for anybody. They don't know who's going to play yet. It takes a lot.
They're resting. They're just resting.
It takes a lot of work to prepare for one team. So you can't just say, let's see what we can do with these different teams. No, maybe the coaches when they're just having fun. But there's a whole itinerary you need to prepare for one team, and so they'll have 1 week like everybody else. And no, Hurts is not going to be ready, and that's alarming. So
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Because I also have the Cowboys beating the Bucks, but Brady is 7-0 against the Cowboys and beat them this year in the first game. So you believe in trends. So is that trend gonna stay, or is that one that you don't believe in?
Well, that's the one I don't believe in. The Bucks have just been too bad. The NFC South has just been too horrible. Nobody. Who else?
But no. But you said it yourself. This is playoffs.
Yeah, this is playoffs. But NFC South
different.
Is terrible. They suck. Falcons, where are they? Panthers, where are they? Saints, where are they? Bucks, they just snuck in there because they won the division. Okay, good job, but y'all suck. We're gonna easily blow them out. Cowboys are gonna blow them out. And
wait,
Tom Brady will
blow
again
them out by what? Like how much do you think you'll win by? 10 maybe?
More than 15. Yes.
Well, against Brady?
Tom Brady is he's a legend, but this year is not his year, unfortunately. Okay, this year is not his year. And Geno Smith, this is a story for Geno Smith. Backup quarterback, Russell Wilson got paid all that money. Backup quarterback leading his team to the NFC Championship. It's gonna happen.
Are you worried that Geno and Brock Purdy are playing their first playoff game?
No, because Geno Smith has a whole bunch of NFL experience. Brock Purdy, this is his.
But this is NFL, playoffs, right? This is playoffs.
This is playoffs, but he still has played in the NFL. He would be more relaxed and poised to make big plays compared to Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, no, I don't think so.
My next question is: you have the Bengals beating the Buffalo Bills, and I know you don't like the Buffalo Bills. I know you don't like them, but you also have said this year, stop lifting up the Bengals. They're not the Bengals of last year. And now they're going to make it back to the AFC Championship?
Hey, I said that at the beginning of the season, and I'm going to say I was wrong. The Bengals are the Chiefs and Bills kryptonite, okay? The Chiefs haven't beat the Bengals. They didn't beat them all 2022.
Why do they beat them this year, then?
That's going to be a really good, really close game. It's a close game every time they play, and Bengals end up getting on top. I think in this AFC Championship, Andy Reid's going to come up with great plays to allow the Chiefs to score a lot of points. But I think it's going to be a close game as well. But that's what America wants to see, John. Bengals versus Chiefs. Bills, shout out to Damar, Hamlin and stuff. But I don't want to talk too much about last week's game, but where it was going, the Bengals were going to win that game. That's why I sort of wanted to go on, but I felt bad. Obviously, Damar, the situation.
Yeah, because
happened.
they scored a touchdown on the first drive. The Bills kicked it off, deferred the kick, and kicked it off.
Even before the game, I watched film on both teams. I was like, who's really actually going to win this game? Bengals are going to win. Bengals are a better team.
Yeah, because you're the best at predicting what's going to happen.
Dude,
for that game.
I'm telling you, it was headed that way. Bengals were about to blow them out. Like not
blow them out.
When I say blow them out, maybe more. They were about to win more than 10 points.
Who knows? The game didn't happen.
Yeah. It didn't
All right,
happen. But the Bengals are the Chiefs and Bills' kryptonite. Both of them struggle against the Bills. Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. For some reason, he's like he can easily beat Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. I guess
I don't know if
he's
easily,
scared
but
of.
I don't know about easily.
That trio has all won games against each other.
He's never beat Josh Allen, and he's beat Mahomes twice. He's
never-
2-0 against Mahomes.
He's never
better,
beat
dude, he's better than Josh Allen. Joe Burrow is better than Josh Allen. Take that to the bank, and they're gonna win.
I wouldn't argue with that. I mean, that's a close comparison.
People say
I
Josh
like all
Allen.
those quarterbacks.
People say Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are rivals a little bit, but I'd say the bigger rival is Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. That's
Brady, but
that's like the Colts and the Patriots. Colts and the Patriots.
By the same
Bengals
token,
and
Brady is the Cowboys' kryptonite.
Nah, come on, no, he's not.
You've never beaten him. You're 0-7 against him.
Those are regular season games. I would say the 49ers are the Cowboys' kryptonite. Fine, I'll give you that, but not Brady. I mean, dude, he's old. Sorry, he's too old.
Oh, so that's why you have the 49ers losing to the Seahawks so that you don't have to play them in the second round.
Well, no, he's also inexperienced. But yeah, that helps. That helps. If the 49ers advance, that would have changed my whole bracket. If the 49ers advanced,
wait, so
they can't have an easier game. It's the Seahawks.
Dude, the Seahawks are.
They've beat them twice. They've blown them out twice already.
Exactly. That's the issue. That is the issue. That's the issue. It's the playoffs, and they're gonna be. Oh, we already beat them before. Seahawks are coming to town.
I think
Pete Carroll's coming. He's coming to town.
I think it's a little alarming that you have the Eagles and the 49ers coincidentally losing their games and basically having the Cowboys avoid playing the Eagles and the 49ers.
Yeah, that is.
I mean,
Do you not?
That's suspicious. That's a little suspicious.
If the Cowboys happen to get the Eagles in a playoff matchup, I'll be joyful because the Cowboys can beat them easily. And again, Hurts is not. Again, I repeat, Hurts is not 100%.
Easily is a strong word.
Whatever team faces the Eagles is probably going to win because Hurts is not 100%. I'm telling you, I watched him play. I know when somebody's 100%. I know when a team has made a mistake. Eagles coaches made a mistake in playing him early.
2 weeks off, played 3 quarters, and then they have another 2 weeks off.
No, that's not going to be enough time. Is that enough time?
Jonathan, guess what quarterback has the most interceptions in the NFL this year?
Dak.
Oh wow, okay.
But
So
actually,
how's he going to win the Super Bowl?
But that stat I just told you supersedes all that. That stat I just told y'all about the pattern: 1 win or 1 loss, 4 wins, 1 loss.
I feel like that's
wins.
not a great trend.
That's an excellent trend. 1 loss. Think about it. 1 loss, 4 wins.
I don't think
1
that
loss,
correlates.
2
Wait,
wins,
hold on.
1 loss, 4 wins, 1 loss.
Now my
2
next
wins,
question
1
is:
loss.
do you think they did it on purpose? You think they did it on purpose so that it would work out?
That's just how things are going. It's a trend. I mean,
You think it's
just how
fate?
things are going.
It's not purpose, but it's just maybe
So
destiny.
Perfect. It's perfect. 4 games. Just win 4. Super Bowl. That's it.
Just win 4. They haven't won 1 in like 4 years.
Dude, this is the
Would
year.
you-
I just the stat I told y'all before the season. Everybody laughed. Look, we're in the playoffs. Right in the position. And also that stat from this year. That trend I just
Oh
told
yeah,
you.
do you remember that? I remember it.
Can
If
you
you don't
refresh
remember.
it for me and
So
any listeners?
basically, Jonathan found a stat in the beginning of the season that said the last time that the Cowboys won the Super Bowl, LSU had a new head coach and he lost his first game. The Super Bowl was in Arizona, and the Cowboys were on either their 6th or their Cowboys quarterback was in their 6th or 7th year, whichever one it was. I think it was 7th. And all that's happening. Dak's in his 7th year. The Super Bowl's in Arizona. And Brian Kelly, the new LSU head coach, lost his first game. So
and then this to add on top of that. Oh,
It's too good. It's too
It's
perfect.
too good.
You're saying history is going to repeat itself. It has to.
It has to. And this trend. The Cowboys win the Super Bowl. Mark it on the wall. Cowboys fans, unite. We're going to the Super Bowl, and we're going to win the Super Bowl.
Should I get a tattoo of it?
Yeah.
I will give credence to the 49ers Seahawks one because that also troubled me a lot. I don't like the Eagles losing to them, obviously, because I'm an Eagles fan. I think that's where.
Hey, John, if you care, Eagles are a great team. Eagles are a great team. It's just they rushed the Eagles, like the coach just rushed Hurts back too quickly, and he's hurt.
Even if he's not 100%, I can't. I think that's a little biased. I think if anything, could you still get Cowboys Eagles in the championship
Yeah.
with some of these?
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be more realistic.
So Eagles beat the Seahawks, and then Eagles Cowboys championship.
Yeah.
Things don't always go the way they're supposed to go. You guys have seen NFL long enough. Things don't always go the way they're supposed to go. There's always crazy things that happen.
No,
these are the crazy things.
I like the
crazy
chaos
things that
picks. Aside from the Cowboys winning it all, I like chaos picks most of the time.
Before we get to Caleb's, I just want one thing from you, Jonathan.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's going to happen because I have Cowboys winning, but if the Cowboys lose to Tom Brady in the first round, are you going to come on here and say Mike McCarthy needs to be fired?
I can't say that because this has been a while since they won 12 back-to-back games, right? And so this is the second year of that happening, so they can't fire him. So even if they wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's more of a thing on Dak at that point, you know?
Yeah,
I
agree.
And it's not that he's a bad quarterback, but like, what's the underlying factor there? You know, it's only McCarthy's second year. I don't think it's easy to work for Jerry Jones though, because I think this week he came out and said they'd have to, I don't know if he said his job was safe or not, but the expectation
is open.
Yeah, like it's in Madden, you know, if you play Connected Franchise at the start of the year, you have to say like what your goal is, and you lose XP if you're wrong. It's like Jerry Jones every year is like, if it's not the Super Bowl, you're going to be on the hot seat immediately. And he's like, it's only in his second year, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you wanted Jonathan's take. I couldn't resist.
All right, so let's move on to Caleb's bracket. We just looked at Jonathan's bracket. We're going to look at Caleb's bracket.
Let me
predict sent.
This in my head. Okay. Okay.
You guys sound confident, and don't be too shaken by its accuracy. We can debate.
Interesting.
This is the right bracket. This is it.
I mean, this is statistically will be the most accurate.
Don't be afraid. It's okay.
So, Caleb, why don't you run through
just
who's winning this
Gotcha.
whole bracket?
So, AFC wildcard weekend between the Chargers and Jags. I have the Jaguars advancing, beating the Chargers. Between the Ravens and Bengals, I have the Bengals winning. Between the Dolphins and Bills, I have the Bills advancing. For the NFC side, Cowboys, Buccaneers, I picked, believe it or not, through gritted teeth, the Cowboys. And I mean it.
Good choice. Good choice.
New York Giants and the Vikings. Another, maybe a little suspicious take here, but I'm going the Giants.
Thank you.
Seahawks and 49ers.
First one.
Seahawks and 49ers, I was actually the most troubling pick for me, but that was the 49ers advancing. But, I'd be happy to talk my thought process there. Back to the AFC. Jaguars and Chiefs would play each other, and I have the Chiefs moving on. Between the Bengals and Bills, the Bills would move on between the Chiefs. So Bills, Chiefs, between that, I talk about it, but I had the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl. For the NFC, and preface this, I am an Eagles fan, but just keep that in mind. New York Giants versus the Philadelphia Eagles, I have the Eagles winning. Between the Cowboys and 49ers, the 49ers win. NFC Championship, the Eagles advance. Andy Reid's Chiefs versus his former team, the Philadelphia Eagles, with Sirianni, and Hurts, and gang. And I have the Eagles beating the Chiefs in a shootout, high-class coaching masterpiece of a game. But I think the ball will bounce the Eagles' way.
So we have a Andy Reid reunion special.
Yes. I mean, Caleb, my first thought is you really don't have any crazy upsets. Like when I look at your final four, it's the 1-2 on the AFC and the 1-2 on the NFC. So explain why you don't think in such a crazy season that we've been in so far, you don't think anything crazy is going to happen in the playoffs.
I would say I think there's definitely things. I mean, every playoff something crazy happens. I think the AFC side, the craziness has just been in shootouts. Like the sample size of playoff games between the Bengals, Chiefs, and Bills. And I know Jonathan and Jared, you guys said the Chargers. Like, if they really get well rounded, that could be four really really elite teams every playoff season. But of the sample size, this is what I wanted to touch on a little bit. A lot of those games really came down to a coin toss. This is the first year where the overtime rules for the playoffs have changed that give both quarterbacks and offenses a chance to match what the opponent does. So it's really come down to both teams really executing despite every year their flaws. So I had a hard time picking, Bengals, Bills, and Chiefs, versus Bills, just because those games can really go down to football. Injuries happen, things can happen. For the AFC side, I think the Jaguars are a little bit of an upset for the Chargers. I mean, I think they're technically higher seeded, but yeah, I believed in Doug Peterson and the gang and Trevor Lawrence. I think he still has some turnover issues, but the Chargers, I'm afraid, of. I think the Jaguars are well rounded. Doug Peterson has experience there. As for story and craziness, I think it is pretty crazy for a Mr. Irrelevant to make it to the NFC Championship off of the back of that team he's got. I had a tough time between Seahawks and Seattle and San Francisco because I've been with this. I've loved this Seahawks this whole season. I'm happy they made the playoffs, but I could see that one going on either way. You guys have good points. I don't discount the fact that he's a rookie. I think it's too simplistic to say like he's a rookie, so this has to happen. Like he is a third string for a reason throughout the season, but like they have so many playmakers on that team, and his role in that offense isn't so demanding. Not that it isn't, but I look at him with his connection to Kittle as a really good quarterback. A lot of my favorite quarterbacks use their tight ends really well, and he just naturally does that. And when it's a guy like Kittle, you want to use him a lot. I mean, Ayuk and Debo are great players, but of the receivers and they use Kittle in a lot of creative ways, as well as McCaffrey's got a lot of stuff going on. The reason I have them losing to the Eagles might be biased too, but I think the Eagles' defensive line, the run defense against McCaffrey will be interesting. Eagles have improved the run defense, but with that rookie-ness, any quarterback, the only way to diffuse any quarterback is pressure, defensive line pressure. If they're scrambling, there are other ways to contain and stuff, but I just think the Eagles will turn up the pressure a lot. They can put pressure with 4 linemen, 3 linemen sometimes. So I think Purdy, it's happened to Brady too, like, no matter how good you are, I think when you don't give the quarterback time, it's going to throw a wrench in stuff.
What about having to be in Philly? Like, that's a rowdy group. Is that going to play into beating the 49ers as well?
Oh, certainly. Especially after the Phillies, I know the Phillies didn't win, but you could hear on social media, like, just all the viral clips of the Philadelphia fans just coming out. Like we thirst for this kind of stuff. Like it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be loud, and I'm not any team that comes in is it's gonna be fun because I think it's gonna be a big factor, honestly. Mm-hmm. So it'll be interesting. I don't know if you guys want to talk about, but I had the Giants beating the Vikings, which was different than I think Jared and Jonathan so far.
Yeah, that'll make John happy.
Yeah,
and if that happens, if that happens, I'd be even more scared for the Eagles because that's a divisional rival, and
that is definitely scary for the Eagles.
It would be interesting.
I mean, we had all our second strings in, and you only won by 6.
Yeah, with the Giants and Vikings, though, I feel like the Vikings are a great team, and I think Giants for their season, this is a win to just be here. I think a lot of Giants, I mean, I don't think anyone expected them to make the playoffs this year. It was a building year. And for it to be a building year and make the playoffs is already a great success for Daboll and the gang there. But I think they do have the pieces to beat the Vikings. The Vikings are a great team, but we've seen at least 2 teams shut down Justin Jefferson, meaning it's possible. And he's had a record year, But then he's had games where he has very few catches. But as I said throughout the whole season, otherwise healthy Barkley. I know, Jared, you're like, there is some truth to running backs getting battered through the season. That's just a fact. But like otherwise on the no injury report, for Barkley, because of how close it was before, it's possible. And I think with the playoffs on the line, they might reach into the bag of tricks. I mean, I don't I like Kirk Cousins a lot. I don't necessarily worry about primetime Cousins coming back anymore in a bad way, but it's just I think with that run game and some of the pieces there and Daniel Jones is running, I think that's just going to be a good football game. That's like I don't know, just a bit of a gut feeling, bit of a playmakers making plays too, and I don't know.
If the Vikings start slow, they're gonna have issues. I mean, this is the playoffs.
Yeah.
We're talking. It's not regular season where they can get away with it. Cowboys definitely let them get away with it, but if they start slow, it's gonna be trouble. But I don't have a problem with that, Caleb. I kind of struggle with that too. Giants or Vikings, so
like they match up well, I think.
Yeah.
And then you have Kansas City making it rather than Buffalo.
Yeah.
Just kind of toss-up game.
Yeah, a lot of that could like literally be a coin toss. I think I went with Chiefs just to make a decision. Part of it was trying to remove the bias because I love the storyline of the Bills making it. They have a great fan base. Obviously, there's recency with Hamlin and stuff that you want to see that happen. But I was just thinking like I think Jordan Poyer, their other safety, has had some issues and injuries. I think he's okay now, but just some unsteadiness there and just the legitimate issue of missing out on Hamlin, that some of the three, like the Bills having that extra game, they have less injuries overall, but I think it just comes down to a little bit of wear and tear and the Chiefs having that extra, like that bye. And I gave the edge a little bit to the Chiefs on this one, but Allen and Diggs, I think if I'm the Chiefs, are the big play capacity neuters a lot of what they can do. And the safety issue with the Bills, again, it is a logistical problem, not having Hamlin and that any injuries from playing an extra week. But for the Chiefs, a lot of defenses have rather kept they'd rather teams just go up them like short passes or middle. They don't like to lose on the deep ball. So you put your safeties up deep enough, and there's certain schemes that you could just let Kelsey eat a little bit. But once you come to the red zone, then you start to get to where a lot of the Bills' strengths are, I think, on defense. So they're just a really well-rounded team. They match up well. It's almost a coin toss, but I just think a little bit of injuries, a little bit of who knows. I would just put the edge to the Chiefs.
Caleb,
yeah.
So even before that, this whole season I've seen a lot of mistakes, too many mistakes from the Bills for them to even go that far. So you think the Bengals would lose to the Bills? Like, why do you think that?
That was a tough one too. I think I don't know if we all have it, but so far all of us have had the Ravens losing. I think with the insecurity of Lamar Jackson and his contract and all that, like it's amazing they made it, but the Bengals can win that one because they have improved. Between the Bengals and Bills, again, it's something I could see it going either way. I had to make a call, but I think the Bengals have not. They've improved a lot and can win this. They have Chase. They have those playmakers on that side of the ball too. But we talked about it. They Burrow hits a little too much. Still gets hit a lot. So if the Bills can put pressure on him, take away his time. It's like no matter how good of a quarterback you are, you take away time. It ruins a lot of things. And I think the Bills shored up a lot of their holes by signing Hines. They do have good players, they really well-rounded players that might not be as flashy as some of the Bengals, but Knox, Davis. I mean, Diggs is just like I don't know who you guys would pick between Diggs and Chase this season, but that's an interesting thought to have, and the way Allen can run and throw is a little bit of an edge. So that's kind of why I went with the Bills.
He just has Diggs, by the way. He just has Diggs. Bengals have T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Both, they can both make, plays, big plays.
Wow.
See what I'm saying?
Gabe Davis.
No,
Are you serious?
No.
He's like
Gabe Davis, no.
Maybe fantasy-wise not, but he's like a 1B. He torched
literally
in
any game he pops off. He might have.
He hasn't popped
6
off in like
receptions
3
for
months.
I think
Thank
he
you.
went
He hasn't
off
popped off in a
against
long time.
That's scary.
Didn't he
That's
go
scary.
off
That's
against
like
the Bengals though?
All right, Tyler Boyd hasn't popped off in a while. That's scary.
Yeah. The Bengals are hot.
He's not like
Jamar
Tyler
Chase
Boyd.
and T. Higgins are hot right now. And so, hey, Caleb,
It's
I see
another
that.
one
It can go either way. That's going to be a good game. That's going to be a great
But
game.
I do think maybe what Jarad was saying, a little bit of that, using that adversity to build strength. That's adversity. So, bit of a rematch. Yeah, we'll see.
I can tell you the Chiefs want the Bills. If this scenario happened, the Chiefs want that because they know they can beat them. They beat them all the time.
What? Why
Bills
would they
find a
want
way-
the Bills?
the
They
Bills find a way to
barely
choke-
beat them last year.
The Bills find a way to choke against the Chiefs every year. What makes
I mean, you're not wrong, but
Well, they beat them in regular season this year, right?
Yeah, it was right.
they
And then-
beat them in the regular.
Yeah, like they
It
was.
came down to a coin toss last year, which is why the coin toss scenario changes things a lot for these teams.
It was,
Yeah.
they had 13 seconds to seal the deal. They couldn't stop. 13 seconds? Who does that?
It's gonna be fun. This isn't a question from you guys, but I will say, tell me if this is true or not. But I saw an article. They said this, and it's giving credit to the Cowboys. This article said that the Cowboys have not won an away playoff game in 30 years.
Wow.
Do you guys have any memory of a playoff? Like, I'm trying to think. I'm like, maybe they haven't, because when what the article is pointing out that at home they're one of the teams with the biggest difference. When they're at home, they win so much more than on the road. And I was just like, I had to reread it because I'm like, it's what it said? And I'm like trying to think of my memory. I'm like, you're right, they haven't. So I actually was saying in this bracket that they actually will get their first away game, right? Because they'll be at the Buccaneers are hosting. And I said that because the Bucs, I just think overall, like Jonathan, you kind of touched on it. It is Brady. He actually, of all these quarterbacks, I think he has some of the most time in the pocket. Like, he is very well protected, and it's Brady. So it's hard to bet against him, but just overall, it's like last year with the NFC East, he made it, but I don't know.
It's funny you say that, Caleb.
Why?
It's very funny that you bring that up because of John's bracket.
Here we go. Let's see it.
I'm gonna release it right now.
Wait. Who do you, Jonathan and Caleb? Who do you think I have winning the whole thing? If you had to guess,
If it's not,
it's not Bills, Cowboys, or Eagles.
Okay. You're gonna say 49ers.
Okay.
I kind of want to say
Wait,
Buccaneers.
Well, actually, no. Sorry, scratch that.
If you say Buccaneers, I'll be upset. I'll tell you that.
But you think that's what I'll pick?
You know what? Yeah, I think I'm going to be upset at you, John.
It's 49ers, actually. I think it's 49ers.
Wow, okay.
Send it in group chat. I'm so curious.
Jarad, send it. Let's see who it is.
All right, so here is John's playoff bracket.
Okay, here we go. Come on now. Oh, okay. Here we go. Yes. Okay.
All right. Okay. I'm happy I'm not mad at you.
Okay.
In fact, I'm happy with you.
I like
Yeah,
this.
you
Hey,
should be.
okay.
The AFC looks nice.
Oh, I'm going to get it to my proper screen. There we go. So I'm not looking
The
too
AFC
often.
makes sense.
All right, I'm glad you guys don't think it's too crazy.
Hey, you
but
agreed with me on the Jags, though. Okay. Well, why don't you walk through for the listeners?
Yeah, so Jags are going to beat the Chargers, and they're at home for that game. The Bengals are going to beat the Ravens. Bills are going to beat the Dolphins. So literally, I'm picking the top seeds to win all those. The home team going to win all those games. NFC side, I am picking the Bucs to beat the Cowboys for reasons I'll explain. But I'm the only one that has that. And then Giants, obviously, are going to beat the Vikings. That'll be probably a blowout. The 49ers are going to beat the Seahawks because they've already beat them twice. Then going back to the AFC, I have the Chiefs beating the Jags. I really, really wanted to pick the Jags here, but it's just almost impossible to beat the Chiefs coming off a bye. The Chiefs have 2 weeks to prepare, so that's very, very tough. And then I have the Bengals beating the Bills. And then I have a Chiefs-Bengals AFC championship. And like Jonathan said, the Chiefs just can't beat the Bengals. They're 0-2 against them. So Bengals back to the Super Bowl. And then in the NFC, unfortunately, I have the Giants losing to the Eagles. We haven't beat them in 2 times this season. And then the Bucs, I think, are going to beat Brock Purdy because Purdy's going to have to step up. And I don't think they're going to be able to do that. To beat Purdy and the 49ers, you have to stop the run, and the Bucs can do that. So Bucs-Eagles NFC Championship, that's where I think the Eagles will separate. The Eagles have been better all season. And then I have the Bengals beating the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
So the Bengals will return to the Super Bowl and then actually win.
Yes.
That's interesting. And
yeah, so
it's not bad.
I wanted to say something about the Jaguars, and Jarad and Jonathan I didn't bring it up when you guys picked it because I wanted to bring it up now. But these two teams played this season, if you didn't know, the Jags and Chargers. And it was at SoFi Stadium, and the result of that game was Jaguars 38, Chargers 10. I mean, if you beat a team by that much, you have much more confidence going into this next game. So that's the reason I have the Jaguars beating the Chargers.
That's
I
fair.
think that's
I
fair.
like it.
That's fair. The Jags, I don't know when that was, but the Jags are definitely trending upwards.
Yeah, that was September 25th.
Oh, wow. So the
was a
Jags
long
are
time
definitely
ago.
better. Yeah,
But they're
Jags
better
are
now.
better, way better. And
Yeah.
so that's scary. But I think Herbert, he's just too experienced to lose to Trevor Lawrence at this juncture. He has too many weapons that can make plays. That's the thing. How many weapons does Trevor Lawrence has? He has Kirk. Who else? Who can make
Ingram,
plays?
got a
Zay
lot.
Jones, ETN.
I know, but can they make plays in the big moments? You
Yeah,
depend on them to make plays in big moments.
they
So,
had to win the game against the Titans, and they made big plays.
I mean, the Titans are the Titans. This is a different team. This
Different.
is
What do you
But-
mean?
better
Do you
defense.
realize the run that the Jaguars have been on in the last 5 games?
Oh,
Of
they've been
course, they've been able to step up.
Hey, Justin Herbert's legacy is on the line in this game. If he loses this game, he's not going to be compared to Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow again. He can't lose this, and he knows that. He's
You're
not
saying
gonna
it's
lose
another Phillip Rivers in situation.
Yeah, he
Great
can't lose
quarterback
this.
in the Chargers.
Yeah, if he loses this is going to be a dent on his career.
No,
On his reputation. On his reputation.
Well,
I disagree.
In terms of when we compare him to elites, if he wants to be elite, he has to win this game.
this isn't his first playoff game though for Herbert,
It
right?
is.
Yeah,
It is too, right? And it would
Yeah, it
be
is.
Lawrence's as well.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I thought. And are you guys concerned with Mike Williams? Because we watched the
Yeah,
Chargers.
I mean, why would you? Yeah, Jared and I were talking about that. Why would you put your starters in a game that doesn't matter? But yeah, Mike Williams, they say the X-rays are negative and he might play, but why would you risk that?
It's just not great that he's
Banged up.
I think he's gonna play the way it looks like. But we watched him live. And Williams and Allen are great receivers, but I think Williams he's like the Robert Woods kind of with the Rams, back then. He plays such an important role that losing him or just having him not be top, because of injury, made me at least agree with John in having the Jaguars up. I had a little trouble with the Chiefs too. I pretty much had the same line of thinking as you, John. I was like, it is the Chiefs, it's Andy Reid, but part of me really did, because Doug Peterson was on Andy Reid's staff for a long time, so this will be a rematch of sorts, and they have similar styles. So then it's like playmakers, different kinds, and obviously you want to go Chiefs, but who knows? Who knows if the Lawrence in the playoffs will turn over less or turn over more? Like they both have experience on the big stage in their own ways. So Jaguars are kind of a good dark horse, I'd say.
I'm not too worried about the Chargers because they had to play with Mike Williams and Allen out for basically the whole season.
Yeah.
So Josh Palmer
And they have
can
Eckler.
fill in.
And they have
Pretty
Eckler.
easily.
Eckler's
We already
so-
know.
yeah.
We already know what he
Yeah.
can do.
Eckler's
Big
so
boy
good.
Eck.
Yeah.
But
It'll be a
either
fun
way,
game.
they're gonna lose to the Chiefs, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
I had it too, but just so disrespectful to say it like that. This is the whole organization.
Yeah, I mean that'll be another good game. If Chargers and Chiefs end up meeting, that's gonna be another good game, right?
Yeah.
They're division rivals. It's always close when they play. So
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
like
know.
what I was saying. Like if Chargers do make it that far, they kind of cement themselves, I think, as potentially the fourth of 4 really good teams. Kansas City, the Bengals, Bills, and Chargers could be the fourth. Or maybe you see
Yeah.
the Jaguars next year become
overtake that. Yeah.
that fourth
Yeah.
great team, because we talked about this throughout the season. Like NFC side, like how many clearly dominant teams are there in the NFL? There weren't a lot, but who knows in years to come if we see Lawrence or Herbert start to have some exciting matchups in the AFC. Who knows? But that certainly will be part of the narrative, whichever team wins.
And I know he's been injured, but it's kind of sad for Lamar Jackson, right? I mean, he's been in the league for a few years. He has MVP seasons and all that, but I mean, where is he at in these playoff races? Nowhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What
and I think it just
about,
goes to the contract, and
I was gonna say the same thing with like Tua. That kind of sucks that he's gonna be out for this game. Like,
Yeah.
Well, we
This
don't.
season-
He could play.
we don't know
right?
for sure. We don't know.
yeah, he could play. It is Tuesday, so we don't know 100% for Lamar and for Tua. But
He hasn't been
the-
cleared today, as
he
far as
hasn't
I
been
checked,
cleared.
which is
but-
Tuesday before the game. So, and it's
It
just,
would be
yeah.
nice to see him have like one opportunity, on
Yeah.
a big stage. But
I think it's just too many concussions this year. It's just the way
maybe
it's
just keep
literally
him out.
because he's still out because of that. And, players first. And it sucks because otherwise, if it was Tua healthy, that's what we always want to see. We talk about this all the time on the podcast.
I would love this matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
on
they
the
have, yeah.
on the Ravens side, Lamar, yeah, I probably wouldn't play if I was him unless I got paid, because if he
Right.
plays and they're probably gonna lose, I mean, that's
Yeah.
not gonna look good on the contract. They're like, man, we can't go far with this guy. Should we really pay him? I would not play if I was him.
That's interesting. I think all indications towards reporting, which again is take with a grain of salt, is that he is going to lace up and play. Who knows if it's his last
how
or
long?
what? Yeah,
Maybe he just
and that's just been a
doesn't even
shadow
make
throughout
it.
the whole season. You know, I mean, he's literally been the breath behind the Ravens. So it's like, I don't know, should
All
they pay
right.
him or not? It's different.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room. The freaking 45-year-old Tom Brady making it to the NFC Championship. What is with that?
Yeah.
And beating Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott, the Cowboys, and the 49ers. What the heck just happened? What is going on?
let me edumacate you. So for the first round game, we kind of touched on it, but Brady's 7-0 against the Cowboys, including 2-0 in the last two season openers. And in this season opener, the Cowboys lost to the Bucs and only put up 3 points.
Season openers.
Really concerning.
Season
But
openers.
this was the first year that you didn't have elite wide receivers. You only have CeeDee Lamb, and CeeDee Lamb is not. He's good,
T.Y. Hilton.
but he's not elite.
T.Y. Hilton.
No, you need Amari Cooper. You really needed Amari Cooper, and you let him go. So you're going to lose that game. Cowboys, 5 losses this season. 4 of them have been on the road. Like Caleb said, they can't win an away game. They can't motivate their players for some reason. I don't know what it is, but Bucs are going to win. And the reason the Bucs are going to beat the 49ers is, like Jonathan said, Purdy, there's no way even if he beats the Seahawks, I think there's a chance that he loses that. I don't think he's going to win a second game. It's insanely tough to win in the playoffs. You have to be able to make no mistakes. And I have a stat for you guys that I know none of you have heard yet. And it is the reason that I have the Bucs going far in these playoffs. And the stat is that the Bucs enter the playoffs as the worst rushing offense in the entire NFL. The last time the worst rushing offense in the NFL made the playoffs, they won the Super Bowl. That was the 2008 Arizona Cardinals. So what I am saying here is that you don't need a rushing game to win the Super Bowl anymore. This is all about passing. If Brady drops back 45 times against the Cowboys, I don't care how good their pass rush is, they're going to get tired. Same thing against the 49ers. If you drop back 45 times, you will not be able to rush him as effectively in the fourth quarter as you did in the first 3 quarters. So I think Brady's going to drop back, have at least 40, 45 attempts in both of these games, and I think they're going to win those games. And then I think it'll come down to the Eagles. And the Eagles they have had maybe an easier schedule, but they have been on a different level than these other teams this year. So I do think the Eagles will get the better of them there.
I had trouble too with the Bucs because I say this every year because Brady's still in this league, but it's like I bet against Brady and it's I never win. Either he does well or not. There's something else. So this year I legitimately feel I went with the Cowboys because in contrast to what you were saying, they have, although inconsistent, their consistency is a little higher overall, I think, than the Bucs.
At least this season.
At
I
least
think
this
you're right.
season, and I also was moved towards them a little bit more, as much as it pains me, because they have like one of the top 5 scoring offenses and defenses. But again, I did mention this, and that's kind of why I respect it. But Brady has like one of the top 5 quarterbacks least sacked or something. Like I mean, that's part of maybe how great he is, how quickly he gets the ball out. But part of me is I look at the 49ers and Eagles. I respect you having the Eagles above. I know I'm biased, but Brady notoriously the way to beat him is pass rush. And the 49ers, I think if they they're gonna have a run for their money. And you just need one chance to get to them. And part of why I kind of went with the Cowboys too, and why I'm hesitant, I disagree a little bit with the 49ers there, is I feel like, I don't know, from what I've watched the Buccaneers, they haven't been good this year. Their record doesn't, and they've had a lot of fourth quarter comebacks. I mean, that's you have Brady, you can't count him out, right? But I just watched it doesn't seem like he's fully in sync with the receivers this year. Like just some weird plays, some weird drops from Evans, and Evans is their top guy. He uses tight ends a lot, but just not a lot of, and that's why I'm like, if teams decide to blitz or bring an extra guy or 40 times 40 chances for the defensive line too, your offensive line will get tired. because I know the Eagles have a really good depth at that position. So I don't know. But then it's like I bring up all these things, and it makes his wins in the playoffs sweeter because it's playoffs Brady. He's not unbeatable, but it's like
I know.
it's
I don't want to say
frustrating.
too much. I don't want to say
And-
too much because I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I saw this stat like last week. I think week 17. Okay, the most pressure leaders this year. Number one. Anybody can give a guess?
Most
Parsons.
pressure leaders.
Yeah, in terms of trying to pressure the quarterback.
Parsons.
Parsons is number
Oh,
one. He was number one as of
yeah,
last
that's
week.
right.
Then Bosa and Kadarius Thomas were tied for second.
But Parsons had little injuries too, so that's why he could have been a little higher up.
Yeah, he could have been higher. And so Tom Brady, like what you said, Caleb, he struggles when he gets pressured. And you saw the season when he was cussing out his linemen. We have got to be, better or black. He gets angsty because he knows he can't do anything once the pressure comes.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons, he's fast. He likes the pressure, and I think Tom Brady's going to struggle against the Cowboys. He's going to go.
It's like any quarterback, to be fair. But you look at like Hurts or teams that run RPO. Like there are ways to combat the blitz
If you can
or
scramble.
pressure. If you can scramble, and
Yeah.
there are other ways too if you're more of a tree in the pocket. But it does limit what you can do. And say what you will about the Cowboys' inconsistency. They score so many points, and the Buccaneers are pretty good. The defense hasn't been as good as people thought, but if they have to play deep from behind, the fourth quarter comebacks are a thing, but the Cowboys scoring much higher on both sides of the ball than the Bucs.
Yeah.
So not saying they have to catch up to a blowout, but can the Buccaneers keep up with the pace of the Cowboys as well as the stakes? I mean, I respect the coaching of the Cowboys, but it's like Jerry Jones does not make it easy. So he's going to be like putting everything out there to win at least one game, because then he can go back next year and say, what can we do, If the Cowboys lose this, I think he's on the hot seat immediately, which is a shame because I don't think he should be. But Brady, there's talks of him already going to the Raiders, so it's like he got his, fair enough. It's hard to bet against him.
John, do you think like the fact that Brady and the Bucs have struggled against much worse in the NFC South than the Cowboys, the 49ers, like does that worry you? Like they haven't really faced, they faced the Cowboys in the beginning of the season, but we all know that, this is not the same team. So they were struggling with the Panthers, they're struggling with the Falcons, they couldn't get wins over good teams. And then it's just a matter of like Brady flipping a switch, like, all right, it's playoffs, like I'm not letting anybody like get by me, like what is it? What is it about the Bucs besides having a bad rush offense?
I think it's partly experience and partly, have the Cowboys not struggled against bad teams? They just lost to the Commanders.
That was the only bad team.
Dak has 15 interceptions. He's gonna throw an interception this game. So Brady probably won't throw an interception. I just think it's going to come down to the wire. I'm not saying this is going to be easy, but if I'm thinking that this game is going to come down to the last drive, I trust Brady a lot more against the Dallas defense than I do Dak against the Tampa Bay defense.
Mm-hmm. I'd probably agree with that. And if I'm the Cowboys, I would not want to give him the ball because it's just the momentum.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, you're right, I think. But both quarterback plays, you do get into an interesting argument of who's played worse, And it's Brady's Brady, won the games, but his interceptions, touchdowns, all that, it is interesting.
Yeah, it's not going to get to that, bro. It's not going to get to that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The only way the Cowboys win, in my opinion, is if they win by 10 or more. They have to dominate.
Yeah. And it's like,
what about, you got to talk about your Giants pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, guys.
I was the only one to agree with you.
Caleb has it right.
What was your
Jarad and
reason?
John, how do you guys not have the Giants winning? Do you not understand what's about to happen? The Giants are about to go into Minnesota. And by the way, we just played the Vikings like less than a month ago, and we lost on a 61-yard field goal as time expired in regulation. And we now know how to beat the Vikings. And since that game, guess who we got back on defense? Landon Collins. And in his first game back, he got a pick 6. So these Giants are back. Did you hear what Dayball said this week? He said, experience means nothing. He says, we are going to Minnesota and we are going to win. And the Giants will do just that.
I wish
That'd be great.
I had this recording this Zoom recording of you saying this.
Yes.
And then showed it to your beginning of the season self. So pessimistic about the Giants, not excited, we're getting dead last, and showed you at the end of the season that you'd be like this. You'd be like,
Just take last year's.
oh my God.
Number of
Two
times
different
you got the
people.
towel back, you know?
I mean, good for you. I mean, it's good that you have this belief of the Giants. It's much.
I can't wait to root for them on Sunday.
Yeah, it's
gonna be
more
fun.
fun that way to watch the Giants.
Yes.
Whether, like less pessimistic and actually think they're going
But
to win.
you don't agree with John, though, or me.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
'cause the thing is,
What's
again,
wrong,
like
guys?
Jamal Williams said, playoffs is when the big boys come out. It's when the real dogs come out. And so
Yeah, I think
Justin Jefferson, he's gonna make plays. This is the playoffs we're talking about. Okay, he's gonna want the ball like 20 times, and he's gonna make plays. So
What
just
about
having
Barkley?
Galladay.
Justin Jefferson. I mean, Barkley's good, but Justin Jefferson.
Kenny
Galladay. He's a bigger star. Justin
You
Jefferson.
see that catch?
Justin Jefferson is just a bigger star. Okay, he wants to be noticed in the playoffs, and so.
All right, so if we're
they're
just
gonna
going by stars, then Tyreek probably their Dolphins are going to win the Super Bowl.
No, not the Super Bowl, but they're gonna give Bills a tough chance if Tua plays. But if you don't have a good quarterback to throw him the ball, then what can you do?
Yeah.
But the thing is, again, Justin Jefferson, the key to beating the Giants, give him the ball, throw him the ball 20 times. 20 times.
I mean, they should. That's the thing. They should. If they do it 20 times, I'm scared. The more they throw it to him, yes, I'm scared. We don't have a cornerback that could cover him. But I just – do you really trust the Vikings after what you've seen them go through this season?
No, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, they can't. That's why I don't have them going too far. But in terms of that game, though,
They got
They're gonna
lucky.
yeah. In terms
Oh,
of that,
you
They got
guys are
lucky
going to be
facing the
shocked. You
Giants.
guys are going to be shocked.
I don't
You
know.
guys are going to be like,
The Vikings
wow.
got lucky.
then who?
Giants
So you're saying
did
Giants?
it.
So you're saying Giants will?
I mean,
stop
yeah,
this?
it came down to a 61-yard field
No.
goal.
Giants will definitely win this game.
It was probably a
I'm
matter
not
of,
even concerned.
Those
It
games
was
that
probably
they
a
lose,
matter of the Vikings were going into that game like, all right, same old
Exactly.
Giants. And they're like, oh shit, okay,
Yeah.
they're different.
Oh, we got to try now.
But now we're actually going to prepare for you guys, and now you guys are screwed.
No, I'm not going as far
No.
as John, but I
In my opinion.
this gave me the Vikings aren't chumps, but this gave me I had more internal conflict with Seattle 49ers and Cowboys Bucks than Giants Vikings. And that's not discounting the Vikings. It's actually they're a great team, but I just think the Giants are not a matchup they want. And I agree with John.
Really?
This was, I didn't struggle with this one a lot. I just think for all the reasons I said, I'm surprised you guys don't. We'll see. But this
Yeah,
one
I'm
I
excited.
do.
gave me less trouble than the other ones.
I do want to just quickly go over to the AFC and give a little bit of reasoning because we all know that the top three teams are the Bills, Bengals, and Chiefs. So the reason I have the Bengals coming out of that, I'll save them for last, but I have the Chiefs. They're the worst team in the NFL on 3rd and 1. That's a problem. They don't have
That's
a
so
running
specific.
game. They have Pacheco
What
is
about the
the
red
only
zone?
thing. Okay, their red zone is ridiculous, okay? But on 3rd and 1, they suck. Okay, the Bills are second in the NFL in drops. And Josh Allen has the second worst fourth quarter passer rating of any quarterback in the playoffs. And if you guys remember from last year, what did I say all last postseason? I was stupid and didn't pick the Rams, but I said all last postseason we came on the podcast, I said, which quarterback has the best fourth quarter passer rating? And every week I said it's Matt Stafford. When it comes down to it, who is the best quarterback? Now, guess what? Guess who has the best fourth quarter passer rating in the entire NFL this season? It's Joe Burrow.
Josh Burrow.
This
Yeah.
is the time.
That's why I
Burrow
said it.
is going to step up. And the last two quarterbacks to win the Super Bowl, which last year it was Stafford, and the year before it was Brady. They were both top 5 in passer rating in the fourth quarter and yards per attempt in the fourth quarter. So really honing in on the fourth quarter efficiency. Guess what? Burrow is the only quarterback that satisfies that criteria.
Wow.
He's number 1 in passer rating in the fourth quarter and number 4 in yards per attempt in the fourth quarter. The Bengals are winning the Super Bowl.
Wait, do you know what Mahomes compares to that? Like the fourth.
Mahomes is not in the top. Mahomes isn't even in the top 6 in passer rating in the fourth quarter, but he's number 1 in yards per attempt in the fourth quarter.
Interesting.
So
Yeah,
he has one of those stats.
I think, John, I think that's a great analysis because I've been saying it. Just like we had the Colts and Patriots rivalry in the AFC Championships, it's going to be like that with the Bengals and Chiefs.
Yeah, I
Bengals and
agree.
Chiefs. Not the Bills aren't in the conversation. It's the Bengals and Chiefs. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, they are, but
Not with
like-
those stats. The
I
fourth
like the
quarter, if you
different-
can't
No,
do well in
not
the fourth
those.
quarter, you should
no, Josh Allen. Like I said, second worst fourth quarter passer rating of any quarterback.
That's key.
I mean,
Yeah.
Tua, who throws uncatchable passes. Herbert, Lawrence, they're all better in the fourth quarter
Yeah, that's an
than
issue.
Josh
That's a
Allen.
huge
They have
Josh
worse
Allen is
records.
not playing that well. I will be rooting for the Buffalo in the AFC. I'm rooting for the Giants in the NFC, but I need to tell you guys what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's just not Josh Allen's year. I'm sorry.
Bills have also lost your trust throughout the season as
Oh,
you
yeah.
watch them. And
I
last year, they always screw up.
I said that's what I said to you, Jared. I said remember the Vikings game? Josh Allen fumbles on the 1-inch line.
Yeah.
Vikings recover.
That was great.
The Bills always find a way. And Jonathan, you say, I don't know why. I just don't get it. So they find ways to mess up.
Yes.
I just don't get it. I
Jonathan,
don't
do you
know how
watch
they
that
do it.
play over and over when you're like sad?
Yeah, I go back and I'm like, how did that happen? Like, I couldn't believe. I was watching it live. I was screaming. I don't know where I was. I was screaming. I was like, I couldn't believe it.
People at work are like, "What the heck is happening?"
No, it's a trade.
I just heard somebody say fumble. I was like, wait, is that my mind? And then I was like, oh my gosh.
like your mind wants it to happen.
Yeah, I was like,
You're
oh my gosh.
hallucinating a Josh Allen fumble. You're like, "Oh, I'm back."
That's how you go to sleep to Josh Allen fail compilations. No, I'm not that far against him.
Yeah, but no, I mean, no, in real seriousness, I do think, John, I think that's fair. Again, the Bengals are the Chiefs' kryptonite. If anybody,
Where's
keeps the
this
Chiefs-
game going to be?
It's going to be
flip?
probably in
Is there coin flip?
Tennessee
it's-
or something?
No, it's going to be in a neutral site, probably
Okay, neutral
Detroit
site.
or something.
Yeah, they were saying like middle. They were trying to like Nashville or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think Indianapolis rejected it or something. No, I like the different take though, because for me, the Bills, Bengals, Kansas City Chiefs, dark horse Jags, I didn't really count them for what we talked about already, but those teams for mine were kind of literally almost coin toss. I had to just make a pick on things I could see, but I respect the Bills. You know, I mean the Bengals pick, and I like the different angle on it. I wouldn't be mad if any all those teams I could see a fun storyline that I would support. You know, it's basically personally, I don't want Brady to get another one, and I don't want the Cowboys to do well. And I want the Eagles to succeed. So it's really the NFC where I'm really concerned with.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for the reasons you said, I like the Bills. But, I mean, I think Tony Romo talks about this. Stats are really – I mean, this isn't any statistics, but in football, it's like complementary football is really interesting. So, like, the Chiefs not being great on 3rd and 1, you have to – like, you wonder how often are they in that position? Like, how often are they converting on 2nd down,
Sure.
you know, or, like,
Good-
it's 3rd
good
and
idea.
it's because they're so good. Like they were talking about this with and this is something for listeners, even not specific to your pick, John, but like it was just interesting because any stat can be a little bit in life too. But with Hines' kick returning, they were looking like a team with a lot of special teams yards, kick returns. Like that kind of indicates that they're punting a lot, or they're not, you know, or they're scoring a lot. Like it's complementary. So these things are you know, you kind of have to go down to the schematics and a bit of the storylines, a bit of the mentality parts. So that's why it's fun to hear all your guys' different legitimate disagreements. I mean, I think the fans know this by now, but it's like we don't try to be different just to be different.
No.
Like we just look
We just
different
disagree every time.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
I will say, as we're kind of wrapping up, I wanted to save this stat for the end.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see who we all picked for the championship. But there's a stat. There's 3 stats. I'm going to try and say this so it's not confusing. So there's 3 stats that each Super Bowl winner has had. They've been in the top 15 in each of these 3.
Okay.
Since 2011. The only exception was 2020 Bucks. And the 3 stats are opponent completion percentage, takeaways per game, and scoring defense. Okay? So, everyone who's won the Super Bowl since 2011, except for the 2020 Bucks, they have been in the top 15 in all 3. And there's 1, 2. Wow, that's actually really crazy.
What?
So the 4 teams that we all picked are the only teams in the playoffs
No.
that
Oh,
satisfy
No.
those 4 criteria.
God.
We are geniuses.
Eagles?
Holy shit.
Eagles, Buffalo, Bengals, and Cowboys. Can
Wow.
you believe that?
No way. That's
Dang.
not.
I have it right here. I'll show a picture of it up on screen.
Oh my god!
You know
So-
what I'm talking
shows
about.
we know what we're talking about somewhat.
Yeah, we are
We do our
smart.
analysis, folks. We watch film.
Yes,
It's a gut feeling, but it's rooted in something in our subconscious.
yes.
The stats are going to support the gut feeling. This is what
So-
we do here.
I'll go through it with
Thank
you
you,
guys so
Jared.
you know like
Yeah.
who's first and who's second and stuff.
Okay,
So
yeah.
first in opponent completion percentage is the Bengals.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
takeaways goes first to the Cowboys.
Yes.
But
And then I don't know who's first in scoring defense. I
Probably
have to look
Cowboys.
that
Bills.
up. No, but Buffalo is second in scoring defense. I
Well,
don't-
they're second to the 49ers.
Okay, yeah, 49ers. So like, I didn't fill it out because the 49ers didn't satisfy the opponent completion percentage.
Okay.
But the Eagles are 8th in scoring defense, 5th in takeaways, 12th in completion. I think the best overall between the three is the Bengals. They have the first.
Yes, Bengals won the Super Bowl. It's over, please, Jonathan.
But
Change your picks.
They don't say that the best of all three wins. They just say it has to be in the top 15.
No, but
they
check
have the
the box.
first in opponent completion percentage, 8th in takeaways, and 6th in scoring defense.
Guys, they're okay. Guys, this is it. You can change your picks. You can bet on them right now. It's time.
All right, but
This
Jared,
isn't gambling advice.
but Jared, everything I've said, the stat I said in the beginning of the season, the stat I just said in the trend, and that, it's game over. Cowboys.
No, the Bengals, the fourth quarter passer rating, fourth quarter yards per attempt, the best completion percentage against opponents.
1 loss, 4 wins. 1 loss, 2 wins.
We're gonna go and like
7-0 against the Brady. 7-0 against the Cowboys. Cowboys are 4 of the 5 losses away from home.
If
Tom Brady
this
doesn't like pressure.
podcast,
Tom Brady is
Joe Burr. You think anybody can? Okay, Burrow with Chase and Higgins. You think anybody can stop them?
They're gonna be tough.
they have
No.
What about
before.
Hurts, Browns, and Smith, and Goddard, Sanders?
Nope.
Yeah.
Mixon.
No, yeah.
Mixon's double as good as Sanders.
No.
Chase is better
it's
than AJ Brown,
all
and
great-
Higgins is better than
all
Devonta
great
Smith.
players.
Thank you. It's over.
Jalen Hurts can run.
I can even argue that Hurst is better than Goddard.
No,
Oh,
no,
no.
that's too far.
That's-
John, no.
All right, we gotta end this.
We gotta,
one.
yeah,
That's
before we
too
say
much.
anything else that we don't mean,
There's not one player on the Cowboys that's better than an offensive player on the
keep
Bengals.
dragging the Cowboys into
Chase is
Yeah,
better
we're-
than
we're
CD.
Sure is
Higgins is
opposition.
better than Gallup. I mean, Burrow is better than Dak.
But
Mixon's better than Pollard.
But Cowboys are pretty good in takeaways, right, Jared?
Completion
one.
percentage.
Number
Bengals
one.
are first.
It doesn't matter if we can take the ball away.
Well, I'm going to stop you from getting passes completed when you do take it away.
Give it to Tony Pollard. Give it to Tony Pollard or Zeke. We have 2. See what I'm saying? You just have Mixon. If he's gone, you're done.
No, P. Ryan. Did you notice P. Ryan when Mixon was out?
No, he's out there. Tony Pollard and Zeke. A combination of that, nobody can stop us. Nobody.
What'd they do to the Commanders?
I mean, we're trying to hardest. I mean, come on. It's the trend. I just told you the trend. Did not tell you the trend. We were supposed to lose that one.
All right, we gotta wrap this up because if it goes any longer, Jonathan's gonna find.
No,
another
this will circle for
coincidence.
another 45 minutes along these talking points.
Yeah,
This is what
we'll
we
never
do.
stop.
This is what we do when we stop the podcast.
Last year was 2 hours, so we're on a good. We're
Wait,
an hour ahead.
we have
of
40 more
schedule.
minutes?
Dang.
All right. So I think
So now we're gonna go through everybody's bracket again. Yeah, no, we gotta wrap this up.
Okay.
But tell us in the comments who your favorite
yes,
bracket.
please tell us in the comments who you think is going to win our bracket challenge. Who has
Yeah.
it right?
Who has the best bracket? Come on.
And tell us why it's me. And
it's
we'll,
Caleb with a
debate
C.
in the- Make sure you get everyone's name right. Yeah, and also, I mean, if you guys have brackets, you should DM us on Instagram and take a picture of your brackets and send it to us because we would love to see them. Like, it's tough because I didn't look at any brackets. Like, I haven't seen any
No,
on
I looked at
TikTok.
none.
I have no clue who the favorite is besides that 1% that says
really don't know
Chiefs
either.
and Eagles, which are the number ones, obviously. But I would love to see who you guys pick to win the Super Bowl, to win those wild card games. So yeah, send them to us at Instagram at Dorm Debate Podcast. The link will be in the description. You can send us over there. Go follow us over there as well while you're over there, and go over on TikTok and follow us at Dorm Debate Podcast, same as the Instagram. And for the playoffs, we may be going live. This is Tuesday, and it'll be posted Thursday, but we're planning on going live on Saturday. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you follow all our social medias for news and updates regarding the live that we're going to do. But that should be super fun. And yeah, so enjoy the playoffs. And as always, guys, we will see you guys next week.